And it's not that I don't care what number it is that I'm really bad at numbers, and you know that.
And I'm Jason. It's episode 330 of The Big Show.
So it is. I'm Anna.
We were just discussing what episode number it was, and Anna was guessing everything from 1 to 9,000.
Yeah.
So
I don't do numbers, you guys. Times, numbers, I don't do that.
330.
Okay.
Speaking of numbers, I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 times now.
I know you really like that movie.
And the third time I watched it with closed caption on, which I enjoyed.
Helped a little.
I'm getting old. I can't hear anything.
I know I can't either. Although I feel like my ears are plugged from that cold we all had a couple weeks ago. So.
And speaking of which, this is a tangent, but it's apropos. Christopher Nolan's getting all this crap because of the way he mixed the sound in Interstellar. Some of the sound effects take out some of the dialogue.
Oh.
But it's like, it feels real, right? And he's like, that's how, you do. So we didn't hear that line because the thundering was so loud or whatever, right? But people are mad because they missed the line of dialogue. He's like, that's how I mixed it on purpose. And so I thought maybe there was something wrong when I was watching it because you're like, clearly you kind of hear that it was mid-sentence and something crashed or whatever.
That would piss me off.
Yeah. So.
That's funny.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I liked it. I wanted to buy it because I knew that I wanted to watch it more than just rental.
Right.
Seeing it. I feel that way about Interstellar too, even though it's really long. But it's not because it's a great movie. It's because I love the characters.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. But I want to know what you thought of it. You've seen it twice now.
Well, I was glad you watched it again last night. Because the first night we watched it 2 different nights, actually, in 2 pieces. I was tired. I was grumpy both days. And so it was kind of hard to enjoy. And so the second time around, I really got into it and enjoyed it more. I found it really entertaining. And it's funny that it was like it was a Marvel movie because it felt very different than any of the other, like, Avengers, those guys.
It's different superhero, right? Because it's not their ragtag group of outlaws,
right?
Basically,
right.
They're not Iron Man, Thor, Captain America,
right?
Hulk. Although they will play into that world at some point too.
And you're right, they will obviously because their nemesis Thanos is also in the Avengers. But I really enjoyed it. I would give it a B plus, like an 87%. I would say
87.5.
Okay. It was. I think that one of the things the reasons that I may have enjoyed it more but didn't was because by the time I got to watch it, I knew what it was like. Like I knew what the feeling was. I knew what the soundtrack was, and I knew it was kind of a goofy movie. And so I think it would have been more fun to go into it and see it that way and just be like, oh my God, that was great, and how funny
Kinda
was
like
that?
Avengers, right? You're like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Although Avengers, it still had these very heroic people, and in Guardians of the Galaxy, they have some heroism traits, but they're not like heroes,
Right.
Until the end, where they sort of decide that they are. But I like the end. He's like a little bit good, a little bit bad. And I think that'll obviously be something that they struggle with, their characters struggle with in the future. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. It was really weird that the bad guy was from Pushing Daisies.
Yeah. Even after you knew that, telling you that, going in, you're like,
What? And then I finally saw it. I actually kind of didn't think he was kind of overacting it.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with him.
Well, he's dead now. So.
I know, that's good because I thought he was overdoing it a little bit.
Ronan,
yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed John C. Reilly and his little bit role, and Glenn Close and her little tiny role, and
Bradley Cooper.
It doesn't even sound like Bradley Cooper. It's so funny. Yeah, I like the raccoon a lot. What's a raccoon? I didn't catch that the first time around. He doesn't know what a raccoon is.
Yo, Ranger Rick, what are you doing there?
I know. All the 80s references were great. It was totally made for our generation, too, right? Because, the kids in their 20s right now or their teens aren't going to get all those references that, like, well, I guess they get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles only because of the reboot, but yeah. Is Milano? Oh, it's because of
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano, I didn't even get that.
That's the name of his ship.
That's funny. The Milano. We're just like Kevin Bacon. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, so, yeah, it's really good. I would tell you. I'm glad you bought it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably one of those movies that, like with the Avengers for me, I could sit down and just watch that and sort of like find a happy place kind of thing. Yeah.
So, Nebula was driving you crazy.
Nebula, the character Nebula, who is Gamora's sister in it, and Thanos'
She's the blue
daughter.
one, not the green one.
Right. It's driving me crazy. Both times we watched it because I was like, who is that?
And I'm like, I have no idea.
I know. I was like, no. She looks so familiar. Who is that? Like, she's so covered in makeup and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so finally last night during the second one, I'm like, oh, I'm looking this up. And it is, whatever her name is,
Karen
Gillan from Selfie. It is the red-haired lead chick in Selfie. And not only that, she's also pretty prominent in Doctor Who, and I don't know, we haven't seen it. She's somebody Pond.
Amy Pond in
Doctor Who, and we have not seen it, and so, all of you Doctor Who fans out there are probably like, duh, but for us, our first introduction to her was in Selfie, and so to see her in like that alien ass-kicking role was like, what? But maybe that is more along the lines of what she's done since she was in Doctor Who. But I don't know what she did in Doctor Who.
I don't know. It was really weird because it was just the complete opposite. Like, I was blown away that Airhead Liza Doolittle was doing that role.
Was Nebula.
Yeah.
I know. And she lived, so hopefully we'll get to see her in another movie. Because Selfie is canceled.
Yeah.
And
that was obviously going to happen, but...
Yeah, I found it endearing. I kind of liked it.
It kind of got old. I liked it.
It didn't have anywhere to go.
It had a horrible title.
Other than the two of them hooking up. That was, just like My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I like that he grew as much as she did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did too.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
It was clever. That was the thing.
Other big news, Pitch Perfect 2 trailer, May 15th debut.
Can't wait till May. I love that movie so much. I almost, just now, when you were in working on the computer, and I was like, well, is he going to come out here? I might just watch Pitch Perfect if he doesn't. I love that movie. And so the second one is they're still in college, and it's like...
I can't really figure out what happened.
Oh, well, I read a thing. So it said something happened, and they got... They ended up getting kicked out of the collegiate a cappella... whatever for that year, and so they have to go do like this. They can do this international competition, and I love the scene where Elizabeth Banks is like, "They hate us." It's so funny. So, and Rebel Wilson going down the stairs. Oh my god,
crushed it.
So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I loved it. I loved the first one. So,
speaking of trailers, Star Wars teaser is supposed to come out with The Hobbit, but now they're saying maybe it's going to come out over Thanksgiving somewhere sneakily. So it'll be online shortly after, I'm sure.
It's out, yeah.
Just don't get rickrolled, you guys.
Oh, is that what that last one was? It was a rickroll?
I don't know. I didn't click it.
Oh.
But I knew it was fake.
It was fake.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about Katherine Heigl or Hook?
Oh my god. Both are bad. So, Katherine Heigl. I watched
the first 15 minutes.
I watched State of Affairs. For some reason, I stayed through it because I was like, well, I've been making fun of this for so long. I need to be able to watch it so then I can really tear it apart.
Which is why I'm going to watch Christopher Walken be Captain Hook.
Oh my god.
That's live though. Maybe it'll be on Hulu.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, it's just as bad as it looks, and it's so confusing because
it's all about the book. It's like we're making a publication for the president each day, basically.
It's just she works at the CIA, and she and these other people who represent other divisions or something are they make a book each day that informs the president what the biggest threats are to the nation. And that's all they do. But then somehow she's also in on like these missions, and she's talking to guys out in the field, but she's sort of like a pencil pusher, and so it's really confusing, and I don't understand.
I don't think you'll have to.
But I don't think it matters, because it's bad.
Is it exciting?
Well, and then it turns out, so at the end of the first episode...
Spoilers ahead, you guys.
So it's all, like, the whole impetus for the show is that her fiancé, also the president's son, was killed when they were ambushed, and they were all in Kabul. And she keeps having flashbacks of what happened. And
she was getting text messages. Does that have to do with it?
Yeah, she's getting mysterious text messages from somebody who says they know what happened in Afghanistan. And basically, you get to the end, she meets a guy who was one of her operatives that she was in charge of, who tells her that he's not the guy sending text messages, but he does know what happened in Afghanistan, and that the person who, basically one of her assets betrayed them, and nobody knows that except her and this guy. And it's like, so? Like, the whole thing was that her asset was not trustworthy. And
woohoo!
I know, right? Right. So this show's headed for the dumpster.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Also, Katherine Heigl, I mean, I just can't watch her.
It was funny watching, Katherine Heigl and, what can't I think of her name?
Alfre Woodard.
Alfre Woodard. We're on The Voice,
yeah,
promoting it right before it's on. Alfre Woodard is there, and she's like all cool and like loves the show. And Katherine Heigl's like,
yeah, she was just totally too cool. I'm sure she left the moment after, and Alfre Woodard, like she was like, I'm here for this.
I'm excited.
She was. It was great.
Okay, so it was movie night, and Hook. Now, all the Robin Williams movies are flooding into Netflix now. And so Hook was on there, and Elliot's into Peter Pan and Tinkerbell and stuff. And I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I always have.
I didn't like it. I
couldn't remember if I liked it or not.
I didn't like it.
And so we watched it, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and it takes like 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to the point. I don't think, and Ellie didn't want to watch it again, did she?
Oh, no. And Julia Roberts is horrible. She is so horribly miscast.
Ellie keeps asking me, what happened to Tinkerbell?
I know. Like,
but what is her story? Like, she's different. Like, what's that's changed?
Yeah, she's this tall, gangly person with a southern accent who is, I think that Julia Roberts appears quite uncoordinated. And so, like, to be a fairy is not really appropriate for her. And so basically it's just cutaways of her laughing with her big smile. And she's so young.
I know. It was 1991, so it was right before, I think, Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. So one of Steven Spielberg's most depressing movies.
Well, it was one of his last, no special effects movies. You're clearly on a green screen and being lifted up by a harness, right?
Low budget special effect. It was before the dinosaurs. Yeah,
it was before the dinosaurs. Changed everything for him. But yeah, oh god, it was just torture.
And it really wasn't a great Robin Williams movie either.
No, nope. Good Morning Vietnam, really. That's one of my faves.
Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire. Could she watch Mrs. Doubtfire? I think there might be a little bit of language in it.
She can't watch it yet. I looked it up. It's like 11 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Although I had to laugh when we went out. We talked about this, right? Yeah. Trick or treating. There's a little boy dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire. That was the best Halloween costume I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think that Elliot would like Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely. I just can't quite get. I know there's some little bit of language, the S word and.
Well, the beginning.
The word and. Oh, with the mom dying?
That's too graphic. I think that's too much because for when the movies that she sees, when a parent dies, it happens off screen or it has already happened or it happens in a montage, and that's going to be way too. And I was almost crying at the beginning. So
well, yeah,
I don't think so.
I guess at the end,
I don't want her to
they were
see
supposed to end the movie sad, like the grandpa crying out in the grass or something, and James Gunn's like, yeah, it's too sad.
Especially after such a funny movie.
I know. So, anyway, Skip Hook. It's from 1991. Hopefully you haven't seen it yet. Is that everything?
Yeah.
That's everything I've got, so...
I was going to say something else, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh, just been watching a lot of Bill Cosby on CNN. That's a great show, The Cosby Show.
I love The Cosby Show. The old one. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the new one's not very entertaining.
It's really depressing, actually. And kind of, I saw The Cosby Show listed in our shows on Hulu, and I was like, I wonder how I'm going to feel when I watch that show again.
Yeah, NBC canceled his new sitcom they were working on with him.
That's probably good.
Yeah, pretty good idea.
He sounds like, on top of being a serial rapist, he is also quite the bully. Remember when we saw him?
That was the weirdest 2 weeks of my life. It was Bill Cosby and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
We watched separate things and just like two different perspectives
Bill
on
Cosby
life.
was so weird. It wasn't even funny.
No.
It was so weird.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my commentary on that subject. So until next time, I'm Jason.
I'm Anna.
Seacrest.
Out.